I have never, ever, ever been this happy before. And it feels really awesome. And I've been happy for a little bit now. And it's just so, so awesome.
So, you remember JoJo Siwa, right? The girl with the bows, all the glitter, and that insane energy. But have you seen her now? I mean, it's like she hit a hard left turn, and no one gave us a heads up. It's like 1 minute she's making TikToks with rainbows, and the next, she's, well, grinding on stage in a spiked jacket. Honestly, I'm still trying to process how we got here. But hey, let's break it down because this roller coaster is wild. And yeah, it's easy to say she just grew up, but what happened in between? The JoJo we knew, who couldn't go a day without wearing a rainbow bow, has transformed into someone unrecognizable. And that drama, oh boy, it's everywhere. From TikTok beefs to calling out celebs, we've got some tea to spill. Let's get into it. The first real moment? That feud with Candace Cameron Bure. Yup, DJ Tanner from Full House. Who would have thought that JoJo would go head-to-head with a 90s icon, right? It was literally the TikTok showdown nobody saw coming. JoJo called her out as the rudest celeb she ever met.
Yeah, we just don't walk on the same side of the road. That's fine. If I saw her, I would just not say hi. You know what I mean? Where there's a lot of people that I would say hi to.
And trust me, the internet went off. But here's where it gets spicy. Candace actually responded. The whole thing turned into this back and forth, and suddenly, JoJo Siwa was making headlines. Not for her bows or her dancing, but for some serious shade. Is this the same JoJo who told us to stay positive? I don't think so. And oh, let's not forget the moment she came out as pansexual. Everyone was cheering her on, but not everyone was cool with it. Her fanbase was split. Some were proud, others, not so much. Suddenly, JoJo went from being a kid's icon to a symbol of LGBTQ+ pride. And with that shift came a whole new world of opinions. And then, the breakup. JoJo's relationship with Kylie Prue? Yeah, that was public. Like, super public. They were everyone's couple goals, and then, boom, breakup news hit. If you've ever had to deal with a breakup, just imagine doing it with millions of people watching and judging. That's JoJo's life now. Okay, but let's rewind for a second. Before all the drama, JoJo wasn't always this controversial figure. She was the girl who every kid loved. Remember Dance Moms? That's where it all started. She was loud, she was bold, and she was impossible to ignore. From the moment she stepped on stage, it was clear. This girl was gonna be huge. And then Nickelodeon swooped in. Suddenly, JoJo Siwa was everywhere. TV shows, concerts, and oh my god, the merch. Bows, backpacks, even bedsheets. JoJo was a brand. She wasn't just an entertainer anymore, she was a money-making machine. And her music? Let's not forget Boomerang. That song hit 1 billion views. 1 billion. That's when it became official. JoJo Siwa was more than just a kids performer. She was a global superstar. Parents loved her, kids adored her, and Nickelodeon? They were cashing in big time. But here's the thing. When you become that famous, people expect you to stay the same. They want you to always be the bubbly, bow-wearing JoJo. But JoJo? She had other plans, and as we've seen, not everyone was ready for that. You know what they say, when you grow up in the spotlight, things can get messy. And for JoJo, things got really messy. Let's start with the Nickelodeon drama. She wanted more control over her brand, but Nickelodeon wasn't exactly down with that. I mean, imagine being a massive star but not being allowed to perform your own songs on tour. Yeah, that's a thing. So what does JoJo do? She fights back, of course. And suddenly, the girl who was always smiling and dancing is now in a legal battle with the very network that made her famous. It's like Nickelodeon made her, but now they didn't know how to handle her. Oh, but that wasn't the only controversy. Remember that makeup kit JoJo released for kids? Yeah, well, it got recalled because it had asbestos in it. Asbestos, people. In a kid's makeup kit. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, that's gotta be one of the biggest PR disasters ever, right? The fallout was huge. Parents were angry, fans were confused, and JoJo was just trying to do damage control. But it didn't stop there. People started questioning whether JoJo had gone too far with the whole sell thing. I mean, sure, the bows were cute when we were kids, but at some point, it started feeling like JoJo was selling anything and everything. It's like she went from being the girl everyone loved to the girl who was selling everyone something. JoJo Incorporated, if you will, and the fans? They started noticing. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think JoJo's behavior is a carefully crafted act, or is it a real cry for help? So, at this point, JoJo's trying to reinvent herself. She's out here like, hey, I'm grown now, let me live my life.
Background on Karma, honestly, it's an old song. I was pitched it. I loved it, was obsessed with it, so I grasped onto it.
Why not that instead of a new song?
No, that's a very normal thing. A lot of songs are okay. What happens is people write songs and then they just don't do anything with them. And then a few years later, it makes more sense for another artist.
But here's the thing. When you've built your whole brand on being wholesome, people aren't exactly thrilled when you show up to a concert, chugging Fireball and wearing leather jackets. It's like watching your childhood hero go off the rails. And I get it. Growing up is hard enough without doing it in front of millions of people. But the whole thing just feels forced. Like, is this the real JoJo? Or is she just trying too hard to prove she's not the kid from Dance Moms anymore? And let's talk about the fan reactions. It's been mixed to say the least. Some are like, yeah, girl, do you? While others are like, nope, this isn't the JoJo I signed up for. It's hard to please everyone, especially when you've spent years being the poster child for all things cute and positive. And that's the thing.
Former child star JoJo Siwa just released her first grown-up single, Karma, and surprised fans by debuting a new good girl gone bad persona. Here to comment is JoJo Siwa.
When your fans grow up with you, they want you to grow up in a way that makes sense. But JoJo's transformation? It's like she flipped a switch, and people didn't know how to react. Honestly, it's kinda sad watching her try to figure it out in real time, with everyone watching and judging. Let's be real, JoJo's everywhere. You can't go on Instagram, TikTok, or even walk through a Walmart without seeing her face plastered on something. And you know what they say, too much of a good thing is, well, not good. Overexposure is real, and JoJo's definitely feeling it. And then there's the whole I'm rich, look at my mansion and custom cars thing. Like, I get it, you worked hard for it. But when you're out here flexing your wealth while most people are struggling to afford rent, it's not exactly relatable.
Yeah, I'm in my bad girl era now. I even do cigarettes. What?
Fans started feeling disconnected, and that's where things started to go south. And let's not forget about the merch. I mean, we all grew up with the bows, but now? It's like JoJo is trying to sell everything. From food to makeup to whatever else she can slap her face on. It's starting to feel too much. Like, JoJo, we get it, you're a brand. But can we take a breather? And you know what happens when people get tired of seeing you everywhere? They start turning on you. The fan backlash has been real, and JoJo's trying to keep up. But here's the thing. When you're constantly in the spotlight, every move you make is dissected, and it's exhausting to watch. Here's the million-dollar question. Is this the real JoJo, or is she just putting on a show for the cameras? Because let's face it, when you grow up in front of the world, everyone has their own version of who you are. But JoJo? She's rewriting the whole script. The problem? Not everyone's buying it. Some fans are like, yes, JoJo's finally being real. While others are like, wait, what happened to the girl with the bows? It's hard to know if this is really her, or if she's trying to shock us into paying attention. And honestly, it's exhausting watching someone try so hard to break out of their past self. And here's where things get tricky. The more she pushes this new image, the more backlash she gets. Fans start to think she's faking it. Like this whole thing is just one big performance for clicks and views. And in a world where authenticity is everything, pretending just doesn't cut it anymore. It's tough though. I mean, how do you balance growing up with the world watching, while trying to stay true to yourself? JoJo's trying to figure it out, but every move she makes is picked apart, and honestly, it's not looking good. People love to build you up, but they love to tear you down even more. So, what's next for JoJo? Is she going to keep pushing this edgy persona? Or will she dial it back and try to reconnect with her original fanbase? It's hard to say, but one thing's for sure, JoJo's at a crossroads. And how she handles this next phase could make or break her career. Let's not forget, JoJo's fans are growing up too. The kids who loved her bows and glitter are now in high school, figuring out their own identities. So, can JoJo keep up with them? or will they outgrow her? Honestly, she needs to decide if she's going to cater to her old audience or chase something new. And don't even get me started on the industry challenges. Being a former child star trying to navigate adulthood in Hollywood? Yeah, that's never easy. Just ask Miley, Selena, or any other kid star who tried to break out of their image. JoJo's got a tough road ahead, and the entertainment industry isn't exactly known for its patience. But here's the thing. I think JoJo still has time to turn this around. She's got a loyal fan base, even if they're divided right now. If she can find a way to evolve without completely alienating them, she might just pull off the ultimate comeback. The question is, does she want to? At the end of the day, JoJo's story is still being written. Whether she becomes a cautionary tale of fame or reinvents herself into something bigger and better, we're all watching. And you know what? No matter what happens next, one thing is clear. We can't look away. The world loves a comeback, and JoJo's got the talent and the platform to make it happen. But will she? That's the million-dollar question. So, what do you think? Is JoJo in control of her own story, or is she just another victim of the spotlight? Let me know in the comments below, and hey, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives like this.